This is Boxing UK with Eddie Hearn. Long time no see, Eddie.
Yes, mate. It's been a whole week.
So we're here at the press conference for Prograis and Taylor and a cracking undercard. Seem to have gone all right?
Yeah, it's gone well. I mean, a few choice words from Derek. I think there'll be a few people obviously calling him out on his choice of words in the events of last week, and we know what he meant. But I think sometimes Derek needs to get himself up for these things, and that was his way of doing it. You know, I think against Parker he was pumped, and David Price is such a nice bloke that was his way of saying, I'm ready and I'm fired up. And by the way, I was quite surprised with David Price's response. I mean, he was fired up as well. So it's going to be an amazing fight. You see the size of David Price. You know, Chisora, who is a big guy, you know, he's like the difference in size is incredible. And David Price, for the first time in a long time, seems incredibly confident with where he's at with his career. You know, and it's going to be an intriguing battle.
It is. We've spoken to both of them already. Derek just seems to have flipped the switch because he was very quiet, very withdrawn back there.
I think that's the problem. You know, I think he knows he has to be fired up. We've seen before. How many times have we seen an unmotivated Derek Chisora go into the ring against Kayable for the European title against Senad Gashi, and he's just, you know, he plods. Once he's firing, Carlos Takam, Spilka, you know, even the Dillian Whyte fights, he's very difficult to beat, and he needs that same intensity, that same fire. That was his way of giving it to himself. So he's pumped up, he's ready, and you know, this is going to be a war.
And David's giving him some backs, and he's going to be on the front foot.
And you know, look, at the end of the day, David Price can't afford to be backed up, right? You know, the way that you beat David Price is you make him use his energy, and you get him, you know, a little bit unsure of where he's at, and then you try and knock him out. But by taking the centre of the ring, like David Price did, if these two both take the centre of the ring, this could be an absolute screamer. But both have the power to end it at any moment. Could go 1, could go 12. I don't think it'll go the distance, but we don't know whether they're going to be a little bit cagey, because they both know they can clean each other out of a shot, and that's what's so exciting about it.
It is. Moving on to the main event. Again, we've spoken to both fighters, and we saw in the press conference, both extremely confident. Neither of them given any ground.
It's a brilliant fight. I mean, you know, I think for all the talk that Derek Chisora and Price are getting, this main event, Prograis Taylor, it's a real fight. It's a boxing fight. You know, it's one for the fans, the hardcore fans. You've got two guys who have just beaten world champions go straight in against each other in a unification fight. So it's the best of the 140-pound division. Josh Taylor really got a chance to become a breakout star overnight. You know, Regis Prograis, great clash of styles and personalities. You know, you've got the Scott, fiery Scott, who is so fiery, and you've got the guy who lives in LA with his shades on. You know, it's just a brilliant fight, and I believe it's the best card we've ever done, top to bottom. I think it's going to be a thrilling night on Saturday.
Have you got a prediction for that one, Eddie?
I've sort of gone backwards and forwards on it. You know, I really like Josh Taylor, and I'd like to see him win the fight. I've got a little bit of a soft spot for Regis Prograis. You know, he's been here 3 weeks. He's been a joy to work with the media. He's done everything. I like his team. I just, you know, I don't know. When the fight was made, I fancied Josh Taylor. Then I went a little bit with Regis Prograis. I just think Josh has a great sense of composure about him. I think he's huge at 140 pound as well. But can you see this fight being anything but a humdinger? I mean, backwards and forwards. Like, they can both box, but they can both fight on the inside. They both get hit a little bit too much. They both have power. It's going to be thrilling.
It is. Speaking of thrilling fights, we've asked Josh if he wins, would he take on our boy Lewis?
Yeah.
And he said he would.
Yeah.
Edinburgh Castle, or is it
St James's Park?
St James's, yeah.
I mean, I think that, you know, I spoke to Josh about it earlier. He says, you know, I'm not sure Lewis Ritson's on my level. Well, you're entitled to think that. And Lewis hasn't proved yet that he's world class. You know, he's just had a world title eliminator. I guess he's proved he's world class. He hasn't proved yet that he's elite. That's what Josh Taylor is. He's an elite world champion. So I actually texted Lewis Ritson the other day because he put a thing out on his Facebook saying, like, I have 1% chance of beating the winner of that fight. I texted him and said, are you mad? Like, don't play yourself. I said, you're a quality fighter. No, he said, I know. And by the way, I'd give it 110% and I believe I can win. I said, well, tell him. You know, he's such a, you know, he hates to rant and shout and big himself up. But that was a great performance last week, a great performance. And he's improving, he's getting better. He can punch, he's tough. He would have 60,000 Geordies behind him. Do not rule yourself out in that fight. By the way, Prograis or Taylor could fight Ritson at St James's Park. So, you know, ideally, I'd like to see Lewis Ritson have one more first, but I really believe that he can go on and fight for the world title. And to do that event, I said to him, don't just think this is about an event and you turning up and getting beat. You got a chance to win a world title in front of 60,000 Geordies. I mean, that's like, talk about making history. That's like...
For our area, Eddie, that would be massive.
And I want to do that because I know what it would mean to your area, because I see it at the arena. And I want to be the guy that brought a world title fight to St James's Park. So, fingers crossed.
While we're on our area, Josh Kelly, David Avanesyan.
Yeah, so that fight's done. The only issue I have at the moment is getting a date before the end of the year. So we're just working it all out. Probably likely to be early 2020. Might get Avanesyan out on our Barcelona show coming up, and Josh maybe a run out as well. Just have to speak to the EBU. It's a big fight, and I want that to headline. It's a really, really good fight. For me, that's Josh Kelly's coming out fight. That's the fight where he moves on to world level, and if he can beat Avanesyan, who's a brilliant fighter, that fight right now is a complete 50-50. Avanesyan's coming off thrilling wins, can really fight. Josh Kelly bundles of talent, coming off a draw. Some question marks, but we believe that he's an outstanding fighter. I can't wait for that fight. It's going to be brilliant.
Going back to Lewis, any truth in the rumour that you invited him down and he said no because he's off to Butlins?
Yes, that is true. After the fight, I went to his change room and I said, what are you doing next Saturday? He went, I'm going to... He didn't even say Butlins, but he went, I'm going on holiday on Friday. It's a Friday, so he can't be here. So I just said to him, look, come down, put yourself out there. He would have done if he weren't on holiday, but that's not really his style, to be fair. I'll do it for him.
Good man. Just a couple of wider things, Eddie. Dillian Whyte on his Twitter account put out that he's WBC #1. How do you see that panning out? Will Wilder go to franchise champion? Or?
I've got to look at the situation regarding, talking about 2021 now, which is ridiculous. And this franchise thing's a concern because you spend a large part of your career chasing down a champion to let you achieve greatness. And when you get there, they shut the door on you and say, no, no one's allowed to touch him now. But that shouldn't be the case. Like, how do you chase greatness if you can't actually touch it? It's like Devin Haney. Devin Haney has now become world champion, which we're delighted about. But we wanted to fight Lomachenko. And now we can't fight Lomachenko. And that's the reason we spent the last year or so going down the WBC route, fighting final eliminators in dangerous fights to get to Lomachenko. So it's great that he's world champion, and he's that good. I don't worry about him. His legacy and the fights that he's in, he'll get the credit for being a world champion. But we want Lomachenko. We're chasing him. This young man, I said to him, are you sure you want to fight? Like, yes, get us Lomachenko. Okay, this is what we've got to do. So we feel like we've done everything that we've needed to do to now get it, and now we can't get it unless he decides to fight us. And let's be honest, you're not really going to decide to fight Devin Haney. But Lomachenko's a bit different. I hope that the fans put enough pressure on to say, we want that fight, and I believe he'll give it to him.
When was the last time you spoke to Dillian, Ed?
Last week. Yeah, last week.
Any update on when he might be back out? Or?
Oh, no. He'd like to box in December. We're working on that now. Still looking for a release from UCAD, which is extremely frustrating because I'm getting asked about it in every interview still.
I know. The question that we get most is, where's the B-sample?
No. Well, there's no news from UCAD. They go through a process. It's a completely confidential situation. It's completely flawed, in my opinion, because there's situations out there in boxing where you may not know that fighters have failed drug tests. Do you know what I mean? The fact is, this was leaked, right? So if it wasn't leaked, you wouldn't even know about it. Which, if someone's found guilty, is ridiculous. Dillian Whyte has not been found guilty, right? So if he's not found guilty, then I don't have a problem with it not being leaked, because now you've got the problem where it has been leaked and you're already judging him. He's had a trial, he's been cleared to fight. So if he's innocent, the fact that it's been out there, you're already presuming he's guilty. So it's really affected him. So
just to quell the rumour, he's not serving a ban currently, Eddie, because that's another one that seems to go around.
I know nothing about the whole situation. What I'm waiting for is a statement from UCAD to say this is a situation, and the sooner that comes out, the better. But there's no ban. He's cleared to fight, so he could fight tomorrow. He could fight December. So,
well, fair is fair. I hope when all of this does come out that Dillian gets the apologies from.
And we believe in him. I know how hard he trains. I know. The lengths that he goes to make sure that these VADA tests are on. Everybody's signed up to them. So it's frustrating, but I want some. It's no point me coming out and saying that, because you either won't believe me or I don't carry any credibility and I don't know what I'm talking about. So we need them to come out and let everybody know.
2 more. Chris Eubank Jr. Down the middleweight. I heard your criticism of his fight yesterday.
I think people took that the wrong way, in that you say, "Oh, what, you're getting criticised taking a tough fight." I'm just saying no. Like, you could have fought Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, Demetrius Andrade, like, for world championships, and you're fighting a guy no one's ever heard of, who's a really good fighter, and it's a tough fight, by the way. So congratulations for taking a tough fight, but it's madness. Like, he was supposed to box 3 times this year. He boxed in February and December, right? And now he's fighting Matt Korobov on the same night, by the way, as Anthony Joshua Andy Ruiz. So no one will be watching. There'll be no one in the Barclays Centre. And it is a tough fight. So congratulations for taking a tough fight. I don't even think they've even watched Korobov. Because if you did, you would not fight Korobov. Like, he can fight. He's not. I'm not even saying he's a world beater, but he's awkward. He's a southpaw. He's got good amateur pedigree. All the things that are wrong for Eubank. If he loses that fight, he's done.
Do you know who's advising Eubank Jr.?
I've got a clue. Mickey Mouse. I mean, like, you know, it's just all that fight is shit. We've got to give Eubank a fight. Who's out there? Oh, Korobov's looking for a fight. All right, sling him in. So you probably want Korobov. Yeah, we'll beat Korobov. He's no problem. He can't beat Junior. I bet he's never even watched him. Anyway,
dangerous one.
It's not my business, not my fight. It's just so frustrating when you could do, you know, Billy Joe at the O2. And by the way, if Eubank wins, those fights are still there. But I don't understand.
Yeah, we spoke to Adam Smith at Newcastle, and he said they were working hard for an Anfield fight, which you would assume is Callum Smith.
Eubank. You know, that could have been Eubank. You know, Billy Joe, Demetrius. You know, I mean, anyway, good luck. Listen, I hope he wins.
Last one. Heard a little whisper. There's a next gen show on in December in London.
Yes.
Any early news on that?
Obviously, we won the React Poor Jack Massey purse bid as well. That will be headlining that event. Fabio Wardley will be on there as well. And a big heavyweight fight. Looking to do maybe Craig Richards for the British title as well. Quite a bit planned for that card, so get that out. We've got so much to release, like tomorrow, the day after. We just sort of backlogged, like yesterday, the day before it was the Celia Brackhouse. Then yesterday it was the Monaco show. There'll be something else this afternoon, and it's just like constant announcements.
Do we know who he's fighting in Monaco?
Yeah, no. It won't be a Povetkin or those kind of guys. You know, we need to bring him back with a good solid win against a good name, and then move forward for big fights in 2020.
As Peter was asking for the Povetkin rematch.
Yeah, I think not. He wasn't asking for it for that card. You know, he wants to get a win, and that's a fight that could happen in 2020. But you know, he's jumped in that big fight. Let's get him a good solid win in Monaco, and then go from there.
Eddie, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.